Good, what's good, what's good, what's good, what's good. Man, I can't believe that shit stuck. OG9. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. What's good this morning, y'all? Let's talk this boxing this fine, fair morning. You know how it goes. I am extremely, extremely happy with the return of Errol Spence. I am going to continue to talk about Floyd Mayweather yet today, and continue the conversation we had from yesterday. Also, Jaron, Ennis, and Virgil Ortiz is said to be done, or very close to being done. Man, this is a good day. This is a very, very good day. So we get Wilder and Spence this year. Hopefully they add Tank to the mix, to the fight. That would be a beautiful 2026. Yes, it would be. I'm loving it very much, man. It's a big, and the lawsuit, it's a shame that the lawsuit by Floyd Mayweather Jr. overshadows the fact that they're going to have these guys coming back to fight, man. What's up, 2 Cent? How you feeling this fine morning? How you feeling this morning? What's good, 2 Cent? Jermaine McPherson, salute to you, brother. Salute to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So as usual, we taking all smoke. One body in Yahweh. Yo, Unc, how are you? I'm well, man. I can't complain, man. I've been having a good couple weeks, just focusing on work. I think I'm over the hump. I think I'm over the hump as far as some bullshit I was going through over the last year or so. I think I'm over the hump, looking at the sunnier side of life. So I can't complain, man. Got good boxing to talk about. We have Floyd Mayweather Jr. lawsuit to talk about. Where I get to rub in that it's nothing like what people said that it was. Do you recall when on Twitter just the other day? I don't have this live stream available on Twitter anymore. I'm just, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Twitter. He's 2 Cents said people running with the narrative Al stole money when it's obvious Floyd is broke. Yeah. I mean, nobody's trying to hear that with the amount of money you spent. Come on, man. You're just walking into the store and buying a whole store of Versace. Some shit you're never even going to wear. Some shit that you may wear one time and throw away like your fucking Marie Antoinette or some shit like that. Ever since Elon bought Twitter, it's been trash. I mean, man, it's not very fun, man. You know what I mean? You got a lot of just fake shit over there. Well, anyway, I at least over here, it's a channel where, I really don't have to deal with the fake shit. You know what I mean? I don't have to deal with it. So I can be as real as I want to be right here. And that's what I'm going to do for you guys. That's what I'm going to do. So Errol Spence Jr. coming back is great news for the sport of boxing because that's going to be an interesting storyline. Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence. That'll be a war, man. Tim Tszyu's probably going to get knocked out, though, because Tim Tszyu is pretty much tailor-made for Errol Spence, provided Errol Spence is strong. And if he's looking very, very strong at 154, I get Errol Spence Jr. all day over Tim Tszyu. Isaiah said people are counting out Errol just because he don't want a tune-up. Man, I don't know why they would count out Errol, man. Dog, Tim Tszyu is damaged goods, bro. Tim Tszyu is damaged goods, bro. Tim Tszyu is not beating Errol Spence, not from what I can see. Tim Tszyu's not as good a fighter as Errol. He's not as good a fighter as Errol. He doesn't have the jab Errol has. He doesn't set the pace Errol does. It's just all going to depend on whether or not what kind of condition Errol is in. But nah, man, I don't think Tim Tszyu is that level of fighter, man. I really don't. I don't. Not with the skill set. I'll take Errol at 154. And if you say it's not a tune-up, it's really kind of a tune-up. Half of Errol's career has been watching him overcome. He will be remembered for his resilience and dominating fighting style. He will always get more respect than Terrence, in my opinion. Let me tell you, man, I think I saw, let me share something, man. I think I'm going to do a short on this. Bike nigga shorts. But I want to play something for you. Let me go to Twitter. Man, this dude got mad at me because I called Ghislaine Maxwell a rider. She is. She a piece of shit, but she riding for that shit. That's what it is, man. You got a bunch of gang members that are riders. Why can't I say she's a rider? Dope dealers and drug dealers and shit can be riders. Why can't a perverted piece of shit like her be a rider too? Riding for some bullshit, but that's what it is. Oh, you know what? Man, I hope I can get this. There is one where it shows Bud's integrity. Man, when did I do this shit? I don't see it. Man. Let me back up. What's going on, man? Divine Intelligence. Here it is.
You think you're going to be somebody that come back?
Nah.
When you done, you done.
It's over with.
It's $100 million on the table, bro.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
I need to get that. I'm retired again.
Back.
Let me get that. I'm retired again.
I'm coming back. 100 M's.
Yeah. One more, Terrence.
For 100 million, you'll come back. Right now.
I gotta pray on him, bro.
No, you ain't gotta pray on nothing. For 100 million, Andre SOG Ward, and I'm saying this in the camera right now.
I said one shot.
Andre SOG Ward will come back right now for 100 million. Promise you.
I gotta pray on him.
Yeah, all right. You gonna pray, and then God, you gonna say, God told me to take the money. God gonna tell you this. God gonna tell me, hey, God gonna tell me I got one more in me. Yeah. The way you was shadow boxing today, you was moving around. God gonna tell you, boy, you got one more left in you. And you been resting your body. Go on, give me time.
It's a whole lot of bread on the table, bro. If I wanted to.
It ain't no 100 million.
It's a lot of money on the table, bro.
It ain't no 100 million. One fight for 100 million.
It ain't 100 million, but it's up there though.
One fight for 100 million, you coming back. Boxing is a poor man's sport. And for them to drop 100 M's on you right now.
I ain't got that call yet.
I know you didn't. That's what I'm saying. Hey, look,
I ain't got that call yet.
Go to the side. You're gonna be like, all right, it's gonna be well worth it. It's gonna be well worth it.
Yeah. What happened to never selling your soul? What happened to never selling your soul, dog? What happened to never selling your soul, bro? See how they just be talking? They just say whatever they got to say right at the moment. They made that dude. What's the guy's name on the Pivot podcast? What's the guy's name on the Pivot podcast? What is that guy's name? Dude, a freaky dicky ass Negro. I can't lie, dog. The dude, man, Bud just don't like people, man. Just for 100 million, you can have my soul. Shows us your character. Yeah, what's his name? The guy that said that. So what if the video was old, bro? So what? So what? He said he would come out for $100 million. Oh, that's old. We don't. Yeah, Channing Crowder. Thank you. Yo, that video's old. I don't care if that video's old or not. That man said, nah, man, that's selling your soul. The man said that Andre Ward would come out of retirement. Andre Ward has been in retirement since like 2018. I remember when he said that shit. He said it not too long ago. That shit was well after the Errol Spence fight. Nah, bro, that nigga is a hypocrite, bro. He just jumped on the moment and tried to make that dude look like a fool for saying, nah, man, stop lying. He said that video isn't that old. It's like 2 or 3 years old. It doesn't matter. He still said it. It does not. In this case, it doesn't matter because he's talking to Andre Ward about what Andre Ward would do. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about what Andre Ward would do. And he's poking holes in the idea that Andre Ward wouldn't come out for $100 million when Andre Ward has been retired. And he basically laid the whole thing out and said, look, man, your body's been resting. You out of your fat shot and somebody puts $100 million on the table. You're not going to take it? Come on, man. That's what Terrence Crawford is trying to do with Canelo, trying to get that $100 million. You know his pattern, bro. I know. I with your comeback protocol. I know you were saying that. I know what you're saying. Comeback protocol. My guy, old man Manny. Cantrell said they talk too much. They forget what they were saying. Yeah, man. Well, let me tell you something, man. If you don't just go out of your way to make somebody look like an asshole, you won't have to worry about that shit coming back on him, bro. You know what I mean? He didn't have to make Shannon Crowder look like a jerk by saying we know your character then. That's a snipe. You saying, oh, we know your character then. Oh, all right. Well, you can say, oh, well, that's you, man. I wouldn't sell my soul for that. He didn't have to say, well, we know your character. And then to have this spin around on him, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's what you call being a hypocrite, bro. And it's telling you that's Floyd. It's not the first time, that Bud does shit like that, man. But it is what it is, man. I'm the Bud hater, bro. But that's just, that's Bud hating on Bud. That's Bud hating on Bud, bro. That's Bud hating on Bud. That ain't me hating on Bud. That's Bud hating on Bud. No joke. Bud hating on Bud, bro. Bud hating on Bud, bro. But anyway, man, I want to get back to this Floyd Mayweather Jr. lawsuit. Let me see if I still have it up, because I was supposed to. Did I download it yesterday? What the hell? A long time ago. Hell no. What? Wonder what I did with that. Wonder why it's giving me some shit a long time ago. I don't know shit a long time ago. Why is it doing this shit? Here it is. All right, I got it. All right. I'll get back to that a little bit later when we get some more people in here. Excuse me. Comeback protocol said, and hold this retirement stuff is the right out for Floyd's paybook. Nobody is going to pay Bud $100 million for the Canelo rematch. There are way too many other better fights out there to be made. Who knows what these guys are going to do in Saudi Arabia if they take it to Saudi Arabia. Comeback protocol. I don't think J-Rock says Dev has the torch now. Devin has a torch of what? Whose torch is Devin holding? Whose flaming torch is Devin Haney holding? What do you mean by Devin has the torch now? Anyway, I'll leave that shit alone with all that Devin shit, because, come on, man. Let's not do that shit. Let's not act like the undercard fighter Devin Haney has the torch in boxing. Devin's last fight, I do believe. No, was he the main event? No, he was on an undercard last fight, wasn't he? When he beat Brian Norman Jr., wasn't he on David Benavidez's undercard with Anthony Yard? Can somebody correct me? Wasn't Devin Haney on the undercard of David Benavidez in the last fight? I could be wrong, but am I wrong? Can somebody let me know? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong, bro. I don't think I'm wrong. I think Devin was just on the undercard of David Benavidez. All right. Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez were both on undercard fights before they just fought. All right. So they just became main event fighters in their last fight. Okay. You have to remember, dog, you guys are talking about guys that are undercard fighters. We're not trying to hear that you're the face or the torch or shit while you're on an undercard, dog. That doesn't work, bro. It just doesn't work. There's no logic by which you're the man if you're fighting on an undercard. You know why? Because somebody else is fighting in the main event. I just hate, it's just what it is. Shakur Stevenson, as much as I like Shakur Stevenson, and no, Shakur Stevenson is a fantastic fighter, we cannot overlook the fact that my guy Shakur was fighting on the undercard of Edgar Berlanga and Ahmad Shiraz. That's how Turki Al-Sheikh does, y'all. So don't tell me just because Turki Al-Sheikh and these guys that were scamming, that these scammers were getting you big paydays. Don't tell me that means you're the man, okay? You're an undercard fighter, bro. You're the fight before last. You're an undercard fighter. All right? The fight before last. You're an undercard fighter. What do you want me to say? I can't hear all that superstar. I can't hear all of that. You guys decided that you were going to give that up when you decided that you were going to fight on DAZN on people's undercards. Now, that is not me hating on you. Terrence Crawford is not fighting on anybody's undercard. Canelo is not fighting on anybody's undercard. Errol Spence is not fighting on anybody's undercard. Gervonta Davis is not fighting on people's undercards. All right? Deontay Wilder did not fight on anybody's undercard until he got 2 losses. 2 losses and went over there and got screwed over there in the matchups that he had over there. So, I don't want to really hear that about somebody having the torch while they're on an undercard. Now, if you want to say that Devin Haney is an extremely talented fighter, if you want to say that Devin Haney is the best fighter at 147, if you want to say any of those type of things, then we can have a discussion about the substantive capabilities of Devin Haney. We can talk about the substantive, the quality of Shakur Stevenson as a fighter. But we cannot talk about these guys as anybody's superstars while they're on the undercard of fights. Unless you guys are now living in a world where undercards fighters are the stars. Is that the world we live in now? Am I that old? I mean, I know we're doing things on different networks and you got all kind of people on YouTube doing what they do on YouTube, all kind of phony numbers being thrown around, bullshit being made up. But if we gotten to the point where undercard fighters are now the stars in the sport, you guys want to kiss Bill. You listen to this, man. Y'all want to kiss and suck up the Turki Al-Sheikh so bad that y'all let this man put you on an undercard. Oh, it was the money. It was the money. Yeah, you took the easy way out and jumped your ass on an undercard. Yes, you did. That's what it is. That's not saying good. That's not saying bad. Hey, man, most fighters are on the undercard. Most fighters on every single card is on the undercard. There's only 2 fighters that are not on the undercard. They used to call it, they call you now, they call it the prelims to try to make you guys feel better about yourself. Like, oh, this is the main card. These are the prelims. No, those are all on the fucking card. That's all the undercard. Undercard is anything before the main event. The main event is Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. Can I get a super wrench, Mark? What's a super wrench? I don't know what a super wrench is. What is a super wrench? I don't even know where to begin with the super wrench. I don't know what a super wrench is. What's a super wrench? I don't know what that is. Fernan, salute chat. What up, Kukui? I lost my old account, but I'm back. Okay, that's what's up, man. Hate that you lost your old account, but I'm glad you're back. Hey, man, if anybody feels like supporting, please do. So I can time out people with wrenches. Can you? I didn't know anything about that. I don't know what that is. I got to research that. I don't know what a super wrench is. Hell no. Tell me who they are. I can get them. Yeah, I'll take their wrench. I can take their wrench if they act a fool. Oh, a managing moderator? That's yeah, sure, why not? Why you want to slap moderators, man? We need to talk about that. What moderators you want to slap? J-Rock is the same torch that Snoop had. What is that? Seriously though, man. J-Rock. Let me see something. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Oh, that's why. What is that? They got a shield or something. Give me a second. I don't think you can block step mat moderators, but I'll try it with you. Okay, Marcus Bridges. Thank you, man. Thank you for the support, bro. That's appreciated, man. Thank you, man. Hey, man. Damn, Barbara. Thank you so much, Barbara. Oh, man. Y'all did it. Y'all supporting the channel, man. Thank y'all so much, man. Hold on one second. I got to get that off of there. All right. Request was granted. I don't know what that request does, but request was granted. And let me get to Cash App. Where am I at? I'm over here on StreamYard. Give me 1 second. Thank y'all for supporting the channel for real. We had like 1 million people in here yesterday. Like 15,000, something like that. Yesterday, we had like 15,000 people in here yesterday. And it was like, I always tell my wife, it's like really weird, bro. You can have like 300 people in here and the people that are there really support the channel. But if you got like 15,000 people in there like we had yesterday, it's a lot of people they just here to listen, man. And so that's a good thing. I really do appreciate you guys doing that. But You know, wow, man, I really appreciate when y'all like really help keep the lights on. My guy Marcus Bridges in the building said Devin Haney is still holding his jaw from Ryan smacking that shit. Yes, smacking his shit, smacking his shit. Yes, sir. Yeah, I was going into it yesterday, man. I got to do something. I got to take this jacket off, man. You also called out Bill lawsuit and said it didn't make sense. Yeah, Bill's shit sucked, bro. Bill's lawsuit didn't make no fucking sense either. Man, let me tell you, they're just putting lawsuits out there so that they can sue you. That's it. They're just suing you. And the lawyers got it. They have it proven beyond like where they can get sanctioned for like a frivolous lawsuit. But man, these lawsuits are dead on their face, bro. They're just dead on arrival, this shit that these people are talking about, man. This shit ain't going anywhere with Showtime and Steven Espinoza. It's just basically, just to make people look bad. Barbara Davis said, with the $15 holler, thank you so much, sister. Said, for the grind with the $15 holler. I appreciate you, Barbara. And my guy, Bird 101, says, some support. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Give me 1 second. I'm too hot. Martin, is this the new look wrench? It looks like I have a shield. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, I didn't change it. It does look like a shield now. I didn't change it. So you know what it is. I didn't change it. So that must have been YouTube. Yeah, it must have been YouTube that changed it because I know I didn't change it. I didn't change it at all. Anyway, man. So how do I join your platform, brother? If you'd like to ask, hold on, let me see something. What do you mean? How do you join your platform? You want to ask a question? You can click this link here. It's on StreamYard. I do not have a phone number because, let me tell you, bro, it ain't that serious. That's not my thing. But you can click that link if you'd like to ask a question. Boxing Hack Girl is the GWOAT. Man, what's up, Boxing Hack? How you feeling, man? He's the GWOAT, man. That dude is an interesting guy, man. I ran him off my channel, man. I'm almost upset that I'm almost disappointed that I ran him off my channel. Cantrella grew is Wilder with Matchroom, PBC Matchroom, or somebody else. It looks like he's fighting more with Frank Warren. It looks like he's getting fights with Frank Warren is Derek Chisora's Frank Warren. Derek Chisora is Frank Warren. So, and then who's Derek Chisora's Frank Warren? And Alexander Usyk, I don't know who would do that. I have no idea. So, but anyway, hey, man, thank you, brother. Boxing Hacker would drive you insane. He's a piece of work. Oh, well, he would know he would not drive me insane. He already tried that shit. No, he would drive me. He talks around in circles. Boxing Hacker is like, he's a circuit. He just goes around in a circle. He has the most, it just goes around in a circle, and he keeps the conversation going on and on and on and on and on and on. And that's pretty much all he does, But anyway, man, let me go back through this thing, man. I thought this was fun yesterday, but I left off when they went into what they were accusing Steven Espinoza of. So thank you, Trill Life. Heyman took great pains to ensure Mayweather remained unaware of these accounts and transactions. This corroborated by the insiders that Haney only permitted Floyd to see what he wanted him to see and actively hid documentation. This is corroborated by statements from insiders. What insiders? That Heyman only permitted Floyd to see what Heyman wanted to see and actively hid documentation. Dog, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is not the type of guy that's going to ask you to give him a 20-page spreadsheet. That's just not how business operates. Floyd wanted to be the executive, so Floyd got summary reports and went on about staying up all night, dealing with strippers, doing whatever he does, spending money on his shopping sprees. Floyd did not have time to read all those contracts in the midst of his shopping sprees. Anyway, let's get past this. Long time, abruptly fired. This is what I'm looking for. Starting in 2013, Mayweather entered an exclusive multi-fight deal with Showtime, leaving HBO. This deal, the richest in boxing at the time, made Showtime the broadcaster of Mayweather's fights and key financial and a key financial intermediary. Under Showtime contract and subsequent event agreements, Showtime was responsible for collecting pay-per-view revenues and other fight income, deducting certain agreed expenses, then distributing the proceeds, purses, bonuses, etc., to Mayweather or designated entity, Mayweather Promotions. Steve and Espinoza, as head of sports, Showtime Sports, personally negotiated with Mayweather's team and oversaw these events. Mayweather's Pacquiao fight in May 2015, for example, was a Showtime, Viacom, and HBO co-production with a detailed distribution agreement governing who got paid. Similarly, Mayweather-McGregor in 2017 was handled by Showtime. Thus, Showtime and ESPN were in the position to know exactly how much money was generated and where it was directed. Instead of paying Mayweather directly or into an account under Mayweather's sole control, Showtime, at the direction or request of Mayweather Ellerby at the time, wired Mayweather's share of fight proceeds to First Security Bank of Mayweather's tax counsel, Jeff Morris. For instance, in the Pacquiao fight, the distribution agreement designated that Mayweather purse and upside would be paid to an account at First Bank of Nevada in the name of Jess Morris with Morris's signature. Showtime complied with that direction. By so doing, Showtime effectively delivered Mayweather's money straight into Heyman's hands, since Heyman controlled Jeff Morris's actions. Given the size of the transactions, hundreds of millions, and the unusual nature of the paying a fighter via third-party lawyer's trust account, this should have raised red flags to Showtime. On information and belief, I would say ESPN with Steven Espinoza. ESPN. Steven Espinoza and Showtime executives were aware that Al Heyman was the de facto controller of behind those accounts. Indeed, Espinoza publicly acknowledged that Heyman often stayed in the background and let others, like lawyers and promoters, formally hand business, a pattern dating back to Heyman's concert business days. Thus, defendants knew that by sending funds to Jeff Morrison's account, they were knowingly participating in a structure that kept Mayweather from directly receiving or overseeing his account earnings. I'm going to tell you something right now, bro. This shit is not going anywhere. It's not going nowhere. That shit's not going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere, bro. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you right now, that ain't going nowhere. You know why? Because Al Heyman was an agent of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s. Al Heyman is an agent of Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s. Al Heyman is the manager. Al Heyman is the one that negotiated the deal with Showtime, not Floyd. Fuck, how long have I been on this goddamn thing? Man, I hate this shit, man. I got to get a new mic, bro. How long did I hit that? How long ago did I hit that? All right, thank you. Thank you, man. It's been a minute. About 2 minutes. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, I'll just go back. I'll read this again. Let me back up. Starting in 2023, I'm telling you this shit's not going anywhere. Mayweather entered an exclusive multi-fight deal with Showtime, leaving HBO. This deal made Showtime the broadcaster of Mayweather's fight and a key financial intermediary. Under Showtime's contract and subsequent event agreements, Showtime is responsible for collecting the pay-per-view revenues and other fight income, deducting certain expenses, and then distributing proceeds to Mayweather or his designated entity. Steven Espinoza, as heads of Showtime Sports, negotiated with Mayweather's team and oversaw the events. The Mayweather-Pacquiao fight 2015, the McGregor 2017 was handled by Showtime. Thus, Showtime and ESPN were in the position to know exactly how much was generated and where it was directed. Instead of paying Mayweather directly or into an account under Mayweather's control, Showtime wired Mayweather's share of the fight proceeds to First Security Bank account in Mayweather's tax counsel. Now, let me tell you, it's so exactly Mayweather, the dude, he's the one that actually did the deal. Mayweather's the guy that actually did the deal. I mean, Al Heyman was the guy that negotiated the deal. He negotiated the deal. If he negotiated the deal, he negotiated the deal. So it was Al Heyman that was the one that was the agent for Floyd Mayweather Jr. during this entire time. So there's no reason for Steven Espinoza to doubt that Al Heyman was the one that was going to direct where the payments were going to be made. And if it said tax counsel, it means that they're paying the guy that is going to pay the taxes. Now, is it that guy's job to pay taxes? And after the taxes are paid, then he distributes the money? I don't see how that is a responsibility of Showtime and ESPN and Steven Espinoza. I don't see that. If you have somebody that you can rely on, it's reasonable for me to assume that Al Heyman, who's been doing business with you for years, is the person who is your agent and then will assign other people to handle certain jobs. I've said a long time ago that that's how the PBC is described, that's how the PBC is organized. The PBC is organized by a bunch of independent contractors. And Floyd knows this is Al Heyman is an independent contractor to Floyd Mayweather Jr. And Al Heyman was able to negotiate a deal for Floyd Mayweather Jr., wasn't he? If Al Heyman is an independent contractor for him and the lawyers and all of that are organized by Al Heyman for Floyd, why wouldn't it be reasonable for Steven Espinoza to assume that he could rely on the actions of Al Heyman in that regard? It makes perfect sense. That's why I'm saying I don't think this is going to go anywhere. It doesn't make sense. It seems like Floyd Mayweather Jr. hired a bunch of people and they ran a business where they were the ones doing the work. Al Heyman is not the guy that's going to do all that work. He's not. He's the CEO. The CEO doesn't do all the work. The president doesn't do all the work. It's the people that work for Floyd. Now, I'm going to tell you, if Floyd did not have Al Heyman telling somebody to have an accountant talk to Steven Espinoza and Showtime, somebody would have had to do it. Hey, Big Coop, you're behind. No, seriously, that's how they're able to pay more money. If you think about the structure, of the PBC, or let me do it this way. I can work backwards or I can work through it forwards. If you look at what the way the PBC is able to pay more money, specifically how the PBC is able to get, how Al Heyman, rather, is able to charge 10% fees instead of 33% fees. He's charging 10% fees because that's what he's getting paid for. That is not an all-inclusive fee. The 10% means that Floyd is going to have to cover the rest of a whole lot of tasks. Because a lot of times your manager will be the person that does all this stuff for you. The manager will do all your business negotiations for you. That's how you get in a lot of trouble, but that's also why they take 33%. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you can understand why somebody would take 30%? If it's standard, regular procedures for somebody to take is around 30%, why do you think management takes 30%? It's because it costs money to do these things. It costs money to do these things. And the guy that's managing has to make some money. That's why it costs 30%. Does that make that should make sense? So, if somebody agrees to only take 10%, you should understand that there's costs that he is going to put on you in order for it only to cost 10%. Where's the other 30%? That's not all profit. They're not making, it's not like the managers are taking, like they're just taking they're not doing anything that costs any money. They probably do have lawyers that work for them, accountants that work for them, right? Whose job it is to make sure that you collect the money, to make sure that the money gets to your bank account, doing all the things that managers have to do, and the reason that they get paid 30%. But you want to only pay 10%, you're going to have to take those responsibilities on yourself. Brother, that's business 101. Will somebody like to debate me on that? I know y'all don't want to debate me no more. I know y'all out of the man, I'm yelling. I know y'all out of the debating business with me. But very seriously, to all you PBC haters, you Al Heyman haters, let's think about this very clearly. If Al Heyman had not assigned an accountant to collect the money and deposit and distribute the money, where would the money have to go? The money would go into whose account? Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s account directly. If Floyd Mayweather Jr. gets the money directly, what does that mean? That means that Floyd is going to have to write checks to Al Heyman. Floyd is going to have to write checks to the accountants. Floyd is going to have to write checks to the lawyers. Floyd is going to have to write checks to Sam Watson. Floyd is going to have to write checks to all the people that did promotion and all of that stuff for the fight, because it's Mayweather Promotions, isn't it? So Mayweather had to promote the fight. He had to pay all the fees associated with that, right? So what is Floyd going to do? Floyd is going to reimburse. Just think about what's being accused here. Floyd is saying you didn't give me the money directly. My question is, Floyd, you are trying to tell me that you wanted to write all these checks out, Floyd? You're telling me that it wasn't there, that there's no legitimate business purpose for having given that money to the guy who probably is responsible for writing checks on your behalf? Because there is certain expenses deducted on Showtime's side, but there's also going to be expenses deducted on your side because you have to pay your trainers. You have to pay. And guess what I know? I know that most likely, let me say it, most likely, Floyd Mayweather's trainers got paid by Al Heyman because he had people in his entourage that had to get paid. You know why I believe this? Because that's the case with Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr.'s trainer, was paid, Derek James was paid by Al Heyman. How do we know that? Because there was a lawsuit. There was a lawsuit in which Derek James talked about the conversation that he had with Errol Spence. And Errol Spence said, I'll talk to Al about getting you more money out of that purse. Al Heyman told Errol, look, Errol, I know your trainer wants money, but you played him. That 10% is plenty. That was a case of Al Heyman saying to Errol that I don't want to pay extra money to Derek James. But it also shows you a job that Al Heyman has for Errol Spence. Why? Because Errol Spence is not the one doing the paperwork, bro. Errol Spence is the one doing the fighting. You guys sound like you've never run a business in your life. If you've never had a company or an organization where you've had to manage more than 10 people, you realize that you need a management system in place. Al Heyman is the management, put in place a management system with, what's up, Greg Hackett? With 1099s, and by the way, 1099s have to be allowed to do their job independently. They're told to do how to do their job independently. I think Floyd used this to file his taxes, to use as leverage, saying he owed money. No, let me tell you what Floyd is doing. Floyd is selling out. This is a bullshit lawsuit like the rest of them. This is bullshit. This is what you call, this is my personal opinion, from somebody as a subject matter expert. And let me tell you why I say I'm a subject matter expert. Because I've run large organizations. I have worked in Fortune 500 companies. I've worked in large management consulting firms. I know for a fact that this is what needs to happen when you're getting paid $1 billion over the course of a couple years. You're going to have accountants. You're going to have lawyers. You got all kind of tax people. And you have the fighter himself, who has to manage his fight career. You know what I mean? So Floyd is out there doing speeches. He's out there doing videos, selling himself. He's training half the day, every day. When is he supposed to be writing checks? When exactly is he supposed to write checks to his employees? When is he supposed to play? When is he supposed to pay and write checks to his bodyguards? When is Floyd supposed to pay his strippers? Floyd probably doesn't even pay his own rent. Floyd probably doesn't process the payments for his own cars. But yet he wants to write this story like people don't know how business works and take advantage of people that don't and mislead people. Nah, dog, I'm telling you, a good lawyer will rip the shit out of this. First of all, Al Heyman was authorized by Floyd Mayweather Jr. to do this. He was authorized, and this lawsuit says that he was authorized. This shit is weak as hell, man. It's weak as hell in my personal opinion, bro. It is not quite as weak. Let me tell you, it's not quite as weak as Derek James' lawsuit against Errol was, and it is nowhere near as weak as, it is nowhere near as weak as Devin Haney's lawsuit against Ryan Garcia. Every time these guys pull these lawsuits out, I tell you whether these shits is worth something or not. This right here, no way. This shit is to save face and to have some and to cast doubt on why Floyd Mayweather Jr. is in the trouble that he is financially. Fern says this is a system. Fern says, man, thank you for the one super chat today, bro. Thank you for thrill. Let me. Thank you, brother. For real. What's up, Rick? Hey, man, stop that, man. OG Boxing Talk. Yeah, that didn't work out. Man, OG Boxing Talk was the shit. But Cats blackballed me, so, you know, nobody wants to talk to me anymore. They wanted to be gangsters before, though. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be gangsters till it's time to gangster. Hey, bro, everybody want to be a gangster till it's time to gangster, dog. Everybody want to be the thug till it's time to thug. Hey, man, seriously though, let's continue. As Mayweather's distribution partner, Showtime had contractual duties to provide an accounting and event revenues and expenses. However, when Mayweather's new management team, led by Richard Schaefer, in late 2024, requested detailed breakdowns for the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight, which happened 9 years ago. Why don't you ask Bob Arum? Bob Arum's got the breakdowns for him. Showtime's got it too. Schaefer, you know that. Schaefer itemized serious discrepancies. For example, expense reimburses charged against the Pacquiao fight totaling millions of dollars that appeared inflated or unsupported, and a mysterious $20 million reimbursement for Andre Berto fight that was paid out of Pacquiao funds. I thought you said that they were asking for $20 million to be paid out of it. Whatever. These inquiries implied that somebody had a huge Pacquiao revenue pool as a slush fund to pay unrelated costs like Berto payout or excessive expenses that benefited Heyman's so you're suggesting it implies that someone had used the huge Pacquiao revenue pool as a slush fund for unrelated costs like a Berto payout or excessive expenses. Dude, Al Heyman, dog, I'm going to tell you right now, bro. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was the one that said he was going to fight Berto a long time before that fight got made. But anyway, that's an interesting question. Excessive expenses related to Heyman's operations. Now, excessive expenses that benefited Heyman's operation, possibly including large fees. You don't even know if they were, possibly including large fees. Rather than provide transparency, Showtime's response and many references were not readily available. Something that they've always said, lost in a flood. Okay. Stonewall, so they weren't going to give them any more information. Bro, I'm going to tell you something too. This guy stopped working there in 2025, bro. Bro, he got fired in late 2025, bro. In late 2020, look, bro, hold on, bro. Showtime had contractual obligations to provide accounting to event revenues and expenses. However, Mayweather's new management team, led by Richard Schaefer, in late 2024, requested detailed breakdowns of the Pacquiao-Mayweather fights. Showtime was unable or unwilling. You know why that was, bro? When did Showtime shut down boxing? The end of 2023, bro. Showtime officially announced it was shut down boxing programs along with the entire sports department at the end of 2023, bro. Their whole department got shut down, bro. In 2023. This says 2024. Showtime was unwilling or unable to provide the documentations because they had been out of business for a year. They hadn't done business for a year, bro. That is a reasonable explanation for this, man. Oh, you can just run this. You can just run this shit down, bro. You can just run it down, bro. You can run this shit down very, very easily, bro. His old friend 50 Cent previously alleged that despite his public image, Mayweather was cash poor and lacked proper financial structure. That's what happens when you're in debt, bro. That's what debt does. Now, why do I keep doing? That's what debt does. Yeah, that's what debt does. But at the end of the day, man, what can you say, bro? What can you say? I don't buy this shit, man. They're saying they wanted a detailed breakdown, but they didn't say anything in this complaint about the fact that they went out of business. After Showtime exited business in 2023, even though they acknowledge it here, Steven Espinoza quickly aligned himself with Heyman's premier boxing championship venture. In December 2023, reports emerged I'm done. I'm done. Right there, I'm done. Right there, I'm done. They quoted Rick Glazier. They quoted Rick Glazier. We know the deal. Now we know who filed this. They quoted Rick Glazier. They quoted Rick Glazier. We know right now it's over with. They quoted Rick Glazier. What else do we need to see? This lawsuit mentions Rick Glazier. What kind of peon organization is working with Floyd Mayweather Jr. when you mention Rick Glazier? Wow, Floyd, you have, like I said, he sold out. That's the smoking gun right there. Rick Glazier wrote this shit. This is Rick Glazier and these same clowns pushing this shit. Pushing all this bullshit on Al Heyman, bro. They quoted Rick Glazier. That's all I needed to see. This is going to go nowhere. This is going to go nowhere. This is going to go nowhere. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a sellout, bro. Floyd is completely and utterly sold out. This dude must be absolutely desperate and is dealing with one of the biggest scumbags that there is in the sport of boxing, bro, in Rick Glazier. Without a doubt. And to have a lawsuit quote Rick Glazier, you know Rick Glazier is the one with the inside sources. Now we know who the inside sources are for this lawsuit. Rick Glazier's inside sources. Remember when Tank said he parted ways with Mayweather because he can't hurt him if he's not close enough? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, the inside sources is for all of this shit about the PBC is Rick Glazier. Right there. It's Rick Glazier. Inside sources say that this is why he operates so secretly. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. He did this. He did that. And now that he's under new management, oh, it's these peons in New Jersey. It's you peons in New Jersey again? Y'all are the ones behind this bullshit. Y'all are ones. Yeah, because Floyd got all that property in New York. Yeah, y'all are some sellouts, man. Y'all, this shit ain't going nowhere, man. It's a bum ass. This is garbage, bro. This is garbage, bro. Floyd, this is garbage. This is not going anywhere, dog. This is normal business activity that they just put together in a lawsuit and framed like it was some notorious plot that a 70-something-year-old man who's been having the same business process, same business practices for 50 years. This man has had the same business practices since, 46 years, since the early 1980s, man. This dude has been doing business with fax machines and pagers and shit since the early 1980s is when he started doing business, bro. So this whole thing is basically saying that Al Heyman was hired to manage Floyd Mayweather's business. He assigned a bunch of qualified people to manage this business. And because he is secretive, nah, bro. Rick Glazier, you suck, bro. This shit ain't going nowhere, Rick Glazier. Rick, you still getting paid for Rick? Rick, this is the fixer you are? Bill, let me tell you something how desperate you niggas are. All y'all ran up into New York City and are running up underneath these bums thinking that they can save you, bro. This ain't nobody but Rick Glazier and some cornball niggas from New York City and New Jersey trying to run game. That's all this is. Now, an inside source, Rick Glazier. Hey, man, can somebody refresh the super chat, bro? Let me play like I'm from New Jersey and lie to you blatantly. Hey, man, let me get some super chats out, y'all, bro. Because I need for you to refresh and break, man. I can't even tell you how many lies these niggas tell, bro. That's all this is, bro. That's all this is. That's all this is. An attack, and it is an attack on the integrity of Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza. They know damn well that Showtime Boxing went out of business in 2024. And if they were looking for all of the facts and all of the information related to a fight that took place 10 years before that, after the company had already shut down, that they need to go to Bob Errol, because Bob Arum has it. What do you mean? You don't know where the information is. All you got to do is go ask Bob Arum for how much money was paid. And come on, man. Come on, man. If you want to know the numbers, you go to Bob Arum. Bob Arum has the numbers. Rick, dog, have you seen this guy come out his statement about Tank and said Tank better sue that girl for messing his name up in career after all the hey, man, no, I don't watch dude. I don't watch dude, bro. I try my best not to watch dude. That shit is frustrating as hell for me, bro. No. That dude said yesterday that the fight was confirmed for a date, and it's the same old game with that nigga, man. Hold on, let me get this. Let me not block myself again. No, I did not see that. Why would he sue the girl, though? Why would he sue the girl? If anybody, he needs to sue Jake Paul. He don't need to sue that girl. That girl ain't got any money. Sue the girl for what? He need to leave the girl alone is what he need to do. If he can possibly get out of that shit, he need to leave the girl the fuck alone, bro. Hey, man, thank y'all for putting color in the chat, bro. Adding some color for my Chi-Town brother. Thank you, bro. Seriously, man, it's very competitive out of here, man. It's very competitive, bro. Out here in these YouTube streets, dog. You know what I mean? Cats got all kind of niggas running shows and shit, got YouTube live streams in the morning nowadays, bro. Hey, man, thank you, bro. Oh, man, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Somebody supporting the Cash App to keep the pay for the channel. That's big, man. Thank you, man. Kentrell LeGrew said, Dev the GOAT, man. Much love to Kentrell LeGrew. Much love to Control LeGroux. And then Eddie, hey man, thank you, Eddie. He said for the grind, $4 holler for the grind, bro. Thank you. Thank you, brother. And then we got a $10 holler out of Motley. Thank you, man. Because I can't send a super chat. Thank you, brother. For real, I appreciate that, man. Whenever somebody new, for real, let me take a second to say something, bro. Because I don't work for Bill Haney. I don't work for Bill Haney. I don't work for Dante's Boxing Nation. I don't work for these guys, man. You know? So when you guys support, it really does mean something major. It really, really does, bro. You know? It really does, bro. Because I'm surprised how often I see cats just out the blue competing with me, dog. Like, bro, and I appreciate you, man. I do. Imitation is the best form of flattery, is what they say. And I'm going to take it that way. You know what I'm saying? However, it does hit niggas in the pocketbook. You know what I mean? That's why Michael Jackson never appreciated niggas that copied. Even though they said, oh, we love you, Mike, and they would look at him like, yeah, man, so why don't you keep your hands out my pocketbook? You know? If you love me so much, don't stick your hand in my pocketbook, bro. That's phony shit. That's phony. That ain't love. That's competition. Anyway, and competition is what it is. And if that's what it is, that's what it is. And compete. And I don't have a problem with that. But don't buddy up. Then compete. Because that's not cool. Just come out and compete. I appreciate that. You know? It's all love, though. Anyway, let me move on. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for adding that color to the chat. Let's get back to this, though. I want you guys to understand this. As we go through this thing that's just meant to do nothing but tear down Steven Espinoza as a person and Al Heyman's reputation. Al Heyman, who, by the way, according to this document, suffered a stroke. So Al Heyman cannot even, there's a chance that Al Heyman cannot even defend himself from these accusations. So don't worry. I will defend Al Heyman from these accusations, and I will beat the dog shit out of Rick Glazier very easily. And any counselor that wants to use my argument to destroy counsel for Rick Glazier and Floyd Mayweather Jr. can 100%, without a doubt, use this argument to destroy this bullshit case and get it thrown out. Because the fact of the matter is, it's a bullshit case. Number one, there's a concept called agency. Al Heyman is clearly the agent of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Clearly. Because Floyd Mayweather Jr. said, not a HIPAA violation, because we're talking about 1099s. We're talking about 1099s. We're talking about 1099s. In the case of a 1099, you cannot tell that guy how to do his job because you have a 1099 and you're not paying taxes. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what a tax is. Taxes. I'm telling you, I can destroy you, Rick Glazier. I hear your argument that you're making right here. This is an argument. This is a terrible, terrible argument. Rick Glazier and all of your bots and all of your bullshit people combined cannot recover from the ass whooping that I'm putting on this stupid ass argument that you're making right now. I should have a YouTube channel where I just destroy people's arguments, especially legal briefs. I'm going to come out. You don't like that, though, do you, Ricky? You don't like that, do you? You don't like that, Richard Schaefer. This is called standard operating procedures, bro. And on top of it, Richard Schaefer had a relationship with Al Heyman, and Richard Schaefer is also the person that says this is how Al Heyman operates. Because Richard Schaefer, the guy that took over for Mayweather Promotions, knows how Al Heyman works. Knows how Al Heyman works. So this is accusations from competitors of Al Heyman's. Old school boxing insiders. Who? Richard Schaefer, who has a vested interest. You didn't want to say somebody on Mayweather's team, so you said insiders. Richard Schaefer works for Mayweather Jr. Works for him. Rick Glazier is the insider, bro. Rick Glazier is your insider. Via Boxing Insider, Rick Say quickly aligned himself with Hamer's promotion. Reports emerged that Espinosa had hired Heyman to run PBC's new broadcasting deal with Amazon Prime. Bro, in other words, Espinosa went from ostensibly representing the interest of a broadcaster to being on Heyman's payroll. Yeah, because he needed a job. Yeah, because he needed a job. He lost his job. Rick Glazier knew and reported for years that Steven Espinosa was going to lose his job. So what is Steven Espinosa supposed to do? Not take a job? People take jobs in the industry that they work in. Don't you realize that Lou DiBella went from being the head of Showtime Sports to working as a promoter in boxing and managing fighters and selling it back to HBO? That's a normal thing. And it's not like then it's like reports emerged. Bro, you're acting like somebody was going to keep that hiring a secret. And you're acting like it was hidden. Oh, reports emerged that Rick Glazier that this terrible thing you're even acting in the verbiage as if they're hiding it. It suggests that Espinosa may have been a motivation to keep Heyman happy, even if it meant turning a blind eye to irregularities. Yeah, you're taking a lot of leaps there, buddy. Do you have any examples of this? Do you have any examples of this? Self-dealing, positioning themselves on both sides of transactions. For instance, as an advisor to Mayweather, but also a purported creditor. No, bro. No. That's not a fucking both sides of transactions, bro. You cut a contract with somebody to do business with him and he has a 1099. That's not dealing on both sides, bro. That's you doing a deal. That's you doing a deal under a company under a certain name. Because Al Heyman says, it's in the name, it says Alan Heyman in Development right there. He is a creditor because he's an advisor. You're paying for the advisement. And if you want to do business and ask him for additional services beyond the advisor, he absolutely positively can do business with you. Provided he has disclosures, which you do not have any proof that he didn't tell Floyd this. Floyd is saying he doesn't remember. But if Floyd has a history of knowing who he's working with, knowing that Al Heyman is doing this, it's standard business practice, brother. And the only reason that you're fucking trying to throw all this in here is because they didn't have a written contract. Nah, bro, I'm not buying it, dog. Hey, man, can I get you off topic? Yeah, sure. What do you want? Yeah, what do you want? Who can tell who never had a nonprofit? I mean, look, bro. Al Heyman did not work for free. He did not work for free, bro. There are literally people getting into the ring with a hat that said Heyman Boxing. This is an organizational structure that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was well aware of. Well aware of. as was everybody else in the sports world, bro, that this is how this operation was working, with a bunch of 1099 contractors that came together for specific boxing events. And that Al Heyman was an advisor and a manager of Floyd, not just an advisor, but he was a manager. And if somebody wants to do business with him as a manager and give him a piece of the business in another area as a 1099, that's not illegal. That's not illegal as long as Floyd Mayweather Jr. knows. And Floyd says he's always on the phone with Al Heyman. Always. He says he talks to Al Heyman every day. That shit is on tape, him saying that. Floyd saying Floyd Mayweather talks to Al Heyman every day. Floyd has historically maintained an incredibly close, trust-based relationship with advisor Al Heyman. Listen, Al often describing him as a father figure and essential business partner with whom he speaks regularly. I think he said he speaks to that man every day. I could have sworn I heard him say that he speaks to regularly. I know I heard that man said he speaks to Al Heyman every day. I could be wrong, but that's what I know. I know I heard that shit. Bill Haney and Devin Haney. What up, man? My guy, Big Dog Willie in the building. He said, Bill Haney said Devin can play the perfect game overhand. I'm sorry. Bill Haney said Devin can bowl a perfect game overhand. Bill also said Devin has a diary. It's called the Guinness Book of World Records. Yeah, that's that nigga right there. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for getting back to the Devin Haney hate, man, and away from my guy Tank. Man, you've been killing my guy Tank with all that hate, bro. But I appreciate y'all supporting the channel so much. I don't know what to do, bro. Really and truly. So anyway, man, the media campaigns in the world of boxing, they're at this point in time, they're very transparent. Where's Turkey Al Sheikh's next big fight, bro? When's the next $100 million, 9 million people on the payroll fight? Can anybody tell me? When is the next rehab card that got 9 million people on the card? Mr. Holmes said, are we about to get Devin versus Keyshawn? Oh, I think there's a good chance of that. I do. I think there's a good chance. I think there's a good chance for that. And honestly, man, if Devin Haney beats Keyshawn Davis, I got to shut up about Devin Haney. If Devin Haney beats Keyshawn Davis, I have to shut up about Devin Haney. I will absolutely shut the fuck up about Devin Haney. I will. I think there's a chance because I don't think Devin really has anywhere to go. I don't. I don't think Devin and those guys really have a lot of places to go. And since they don't have a lot of places to go, I think we're going to get the fight. Turkey Al Sheikh is not spending all his money, bro, so they're going to put these guys in there together. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to get these Americans to knock each other off. These guys are now on undercards. Once you get these guys on undercards, that's how they're going to have to fight each other. Because if they don't fight each other, they're going to be on the undercard. Seriously, man. That's what the economy of boxing has produced. If you don't want to fight nobody, your ass is going to be on the undercard. And here, you might actually be on the undercard even if you fight somebody. No, they're going to put the people they want on the main event. They're putting Ahmad Shiraz in the main event. Man, Turkey Al Sheikh did that shit in New York to Shakur. He put Ahmad Shiraz on the main event, not Shakur. Shakur had to. I walked away. Yes, it did. Fern, yes, it did, brother. Keep the knowledge going. Yes, sir, man. My bad. Hey, give me 1 second. I need to walk away for 1 second, but I won't let you down. I'll be right back.
You don't know what I've been training like. You don't know the vision I have. You do. Now, no, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm strong. I'm strong. Strong.
I don't know if Ryan Garcia is taking the fight serious.
You don't know what I've been training like. You don't know the vision I have. You do. Now, no, I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. I'm strong. I'm strong. Strong.
I don't know if Ryan Garcia is taking the fight serious or not.
I'm strong. I'm strong. Strong.
Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle. Let's wrestle.
I love it, dog. I think that might have been one of my favorite fights in the last several years, bro. What a fantastic, fantastic fight. Seriously, though, let's get back to this, man. I want to get back to this because I think we've really unraveled some things here, man. I'm starting to think that I'm really getting it and where we are in the sport of boxing. And the fact of the matter is, bro, this stuff is what I thought it was. You got a bunch of guys in New Jersey and in New York that think they run boxing. And you guys are out here playing games, trying to get in them people in the middle of people's ways. You guys are the ones that brought in Eddie Hearn. You guys are the ones trying to bring in Turkey Al-Sheikh. Yeah, man, you guys are basically out here running games, bro. And you don't want other people to get their feet wet, man. You don't want anybody to wet their beaks, man. So y'all just out here like a bunch of haters, bro. Fucking up people's fights, lying on people, setting people up. You know what I mean? Suing people for shit you know they didn't do. Man, we on like lawsuit number 4 of y'all just, this shit is stupid. Okay? Showtime Sports shut down as an entity. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is on record saying that he got paid $1 billion. He said he knew exactly how much money he was going to make a month. He had everything laid down. Floyd Mayweather said he knew how much money he had. He said it 1 million times. And now you want to claim that because he can't track every transaction, you want to go and say that every transaction that Richard Schaefer doesn't immediately understand means that Al Heyman stole that money. But yet you won't sue Al Heyman. Why? Because the man had a stroke. And if he had a stroke, he'd probably eat you alive in a court of law. But you think that because nobody really knows the pieces of the puzzle, that you can somehow frame it and make him look like he's this great thief and maybe make somebody feel sorry for Floyd? Nah, bro, I ain't buying it. The best fighters right now are coming out of Philly, New Jersey, and New York. I don't know. That, first of all, dog, that's Mr. Holmes. That's like saying, damn, bro, like That's three entirely different states, bro. You said the best fight right now is not right, but my Jesus Christ. The best fighters right now are coming out of Philly, New Jersey, and New York. No, Omaha, Nebraska has got the best fighter coming out. Omaha. Who else? Well, Philly, New Jersey got one, right? No, two. No. Virginia's got one. Basically, that whole East Coast area always going to have it, man. East Coast, that whole East Coast area always got that stuff. Always has a lot of really good fighters, bro. Whether it's somebody that pops up out of Boston or somebody that pops up out of D.C. or somebody that pops up out of New York, quiet as kept, D.C. got a bunch of fighters. Baltimore's got a bunch of fighters. Ohio's got a lot of fighters. They kind of falling off right now. Ohio was doing a bit better but before, though. Hood Legend said, bruh, who are you, bruh, that makes you think you deserve money from boxing or attention? I'm confused. Did you box before you made $1 million boxing? Are you a trainer? Hood Legend. Bro, I'm here because you're here. I'm here because you're here, stupid. That's why. I'm here because you're here, stupid. The question is, why are you here? Did I make $1 million in boxing, stupid? I'm here because people like to talk to me about boxing, stupid. I mean, it's right there for you to see. It's very obvious what they're here for. They're here to listen to me talk about my opinion about boxing. That's what it is. And you're here. What makes you think that why are you acting? Let me say this instead. Why you act like you don't know why? Why do you want to play stupid, bro? Why you want to play stupid? This is called social media, where a lot of people talk about stuff that they don't do. Hey, man, if there was somebody that was explaining to you what happened when the astronauts flew to the moon, do you have to be an astronaut to talk about? Do you have to be an astronaut to talk about a plane, about a ship going to the moon, a rocket going to the moon? Do you? Do you have to be Beethoven to talk about classical music? Do you have to be a playwright to talk about the movies that you watch? No. So you don't have to be a boxer to talk about boxing. All you have to do is be a boxing fan. Because people want to talk to boxing fans about boxing. Believe it or not, they don't really want to talk to boxers about boxing. Believe it or not. Most people don't want to talk to boxers about boxing. Do you know who they want to talk about boxing with? Most people. They want to talk about boxing with their friend. Yeah. Most times that you want to talk about boxing, you have the most fun time when you're talking boxing with your friend. Not when you're sitting there getting a lecture from a boxing coach about how you pivot. I'm sorry, it's a bit of a niche that I discovered. I discovered that fans like to talk to other fans. And because boxing is so broken down and fucked up, there's not a lot of people that you can just talk boxing to that are going to tell you the truth. You have people like, I won't say their names, but you know who they are. They posed as people that you could talk boxing to, but they wound up just being a media person. That's all they are, is the media. They're not somebody that you can talk boxing with and get an honest opinion. No, you're going to get Bill Haney's opinion when you talk to him. You're going to get Devin Haney's opinion when you talk to him. When you talk to these people, you're not going to get what they think. You're going to get what the zone wants you to think. You're going to get what Rick Glazier wants you to think. You're going to get what their bosses want you to think. That's what you're going to get. So when you talk to me, you're going to talk to a boxing fan, and this boxing fan is going to tell you what this boxing fan obviously thinks. Because that's more fun than listening to a bunch of guys that are doing nothing but following a PR campaign. Because it makes 90% of what they talk about bullshit. You can't trust them. You can't, because they're trying to sell you something. They're not out here trying to talk. I'm not selling you something. All I'm saying is, hey, man, this does take money to do. I'm sorry, bro. I'm not Al Heyman. Let me tell you something, man. Let's get back to what I was saying about Al Heyman. Al Heyman, it costs money for Al Heyman to advise Floyd Mayweather Jr. It costs money for Al Heyman to manage and run that billion-dollar business that was Floyd Mayweather Jr. in the PBC. Rick Glazier wants to make it seem like Al Heyman is a thief just because he uses a fax machine. Because that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Nobody at any credibility is going to quote Rick Glazier. But Rick Glazier is such an egomaniac that he put his name in the middle of the lawsuit. Shout out Justin Hawks, man. Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, man. It's a grind, dog. It's a grind, dog. It's a grind. It's a grind. Talking to my guy. It's a grind. Yeah, it is. It's a grind. Hey, man, my guy with the support, bro. A one-man army ace, Sean, said, peace and blessings, Mr. Blackwell. Thank you, brother. Man, I hope you're doing well, bro. Somebody tell Daryl McKinney I said what's up, too, man. Shout out to Daryl McKinney. I ain't seen Daryl McKinney in a while. Shout out to team Hitman. No, for real, bro. Y'all want to debate this with me? You little petty mobsters and shit. You little petty New York mob niggas. Man, y'all some petty little Negroes, bro. Man, Rick Glazier, bro. Let me talk to Rick Glazier, bro. Rick, somebody send this to Rick. Rick, this is not going to work, Rick. You're not going to be able to fix this, Rick. You're not. You're not. You got Floyd out here trying to tear down the PBC because y'all on some mob shit. Trying to tear down some people that you cannot beat. You cannot beat. Let me say it, Rick, bro. You're a peon, bro. You're nothing, Rick. Rick Glazier. You're nothing, bro. You're absolutely nothing, bro. You're a little peon to a black man, bro. I know that hurts, bro. But you're a little peon to a black brother, bro. You didn't see the Drake case. We want to see where that money went. Oh, you know where that money went. Oh, you know where the money went. You know where the money went. Hey, TAs with the $10 holler said, blessings for now, the best channel hands down, bro. I needed your support, bro. I needed your support, bro. I really did, dog. I really needed your support today. Oh, y'all, thank y'all for being supporters of me. Thank you. Floyd saying where did the money go? Floyd know where that money went. It went right out of his motherfucking hand. What do you mean where the money went? You mean the money? Which money? The money you spent on the jet? The money that you spent on the jet fuel? The jet that you spent on the money you spent on the mansions? Or the $100,000 you would burn every day for like a year straight? What do you mean, dude? You were burning $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, $1 million a day, bro. Dog, how long you think you're going to be up? Dude, you're burning after-tax money, bro. After-tax money. A billion, let me tell you, 100 million went to, if you made $1 billion, 100 million went to Al Heyman. Because you agreed to 10%. How he got that 10% could have been in a different way, a bunch of different ways. But he probably got his 10%. Because he did not work for you for free. That's bullshit, Floyd. That's bullshit. Just because he's sitting around walking in company meetings and say, I never took a penny from Floyd, which means he never stole from Floyd. Mayweather personally never stole from him. He earned and worked for his money. And as a result of the deals that Al Heyman made, Floyd became a very, very wealthy person. So Rick Glazier, you want to tear down the man that made Floyd Mayweather Jr. that rich. Because Floyd was a great boxer, but he was not going to get that rich without Al Heyman negotiating those deals based off Al Heyman's name and Al Heyman's business ability to get big deals done, Rick peon-ass Glazier. Bro, I'm reading the thing, man. I don't know what happened to this money. I'm telling you the argument that Rick Glazier is making don't make no damn sense. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the argument that Rick Glazier is making don't make no sense. Don't make no sense, bro. And let me tell you something else too, y'all. You never gonna really grow piggybacking. Bro, you're not gonna win piggybacking, bro. You're not gonna win. You gotta do it yourself, bro. You're not gonna strip this money up out of Al Heyman's pocket, bro. Anyway, he was going courtside to the Lakers game trying to flex money in front of Jay-Z. Yeah, like, yeah, look, I got cash. Motherfucker's like, man, look, bro, you look stupid doing it. Al, first of all, you look stupid doing it, bro. You look stupid doing it. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is probably wearing $1 million every time he walks out the house. No joke, man. Floyd is probably wearing $1 million every time he walks out the house. How long do you think that $500 million is going to last at $1 million a day? Seriously. You got $500 million, okay? $500 million. But you're spending $1 million a day. How long before your money runs out? Bro, that's not even complicated. Here's a link that anybody wants to debate. No more debates over here, I know. No more debates over here, I know. I know. They're not going to invest in you guys anymore, man. Where did Mr. Porter go? Where did Mr. Davis go? Where did Mr. Rain go? Mr. Mafargo, we know where Mr. Mafargo is. Where did you go, Rollo? Where'd you go? You guys were ordered to show the fuck up for a period of time. You did your job. And then all of a sudden, miraculous, you were told to hit the brakes on me. The rivers run dry when you spend your money the way he did. I saw this coming for years because he was buying things like he was dealing with small man issues. Man, let me tell you something. Floyd Mayweather Jr., I knew he was in trouble when he thought he made $1 billion. Dog, if you get paid $1 billion, you're going to lose $500 million. If you make $1 billion, you're going to only get $500 million. DJ Maskey, if you get paid $1 billion, you're lucky to make $500 million, bro. Because in order to make the $1 billion, there's costs associated with it and taxes. So if you make $1 billion, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, man. Sorry about that. My camera ran out of batteries, man. So I had to go and get that real quick. Rollo looked like Benny from the old Total Recall movie. Rollo used to be funny, man. Remember, Rollo used to threaten me all the time, man. Talk all that dumb shit, man. We must think kind of our loved ones and prepare for the future by careful spending. He should have focused on his needs and not his wants. That's sad because he kept showing off and now it's all bad. No, seriously, he's a jackass that deserves it because he fucking disrespected Ali and everybody that came before him. Nah, bro, that nigga's so disrespectful, bro. That's what he gets. No, seriously, man, he's not going to ever go broke because he's made so much money. Dude, Floyd Mayweather Jr. will always be taken care of. Do not get this wrong. Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's not going to be starving, bro. He's always going to have money. He's always going to be able to trade off of his name. Dude he's not going to be homeless. You don't have to worry about seeing Floyd. Floyd ain't going to be out there like Delonte West. Okay. Floyd is not going to be out there like one of these people that you see like Amanda Bynes or somebody like that you see walking the streets. So first of all, let's get that straight. Floyd Mayweather Jr. we're talking about amounts of money here that if he files bankruptcy and gets a little access to the things that he actually owns and can liquidate the things that he actually owns, bro, that dude is never going to starve and he'll be able to build himself back up just like Allen Iverson did. Allen Iverson built himself back up. Mike Tyson built himself up. The only thing that would prevent Floyd from doing that is the fact that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is an asshole. But no, that's what he gets for saying all that shit about Floyd. I mean, about Muhammad Ali. Only Muhammad Ali sold his shit for $50 million. I've got all the rights to my this, my that. That nigga was talking like he knew everything going on with his business. Ain't nobody trying to hear that dude. That dude was not talking like, oh, I trust my manager. No, this dude said he knew all he had. He knew exactly how much money he had. He knew, man, come on, man. You don't get to give speeches and all that stuff about what a great businessman you are and then turn around and have the business operate in a way that it should operate when you have 1099s. Because when you have 1099s and you don't want to pay the money out to these guys as employees, bro, there's costs associated with that, man. And yes, and guess what? The less people that you have working for you, that and the more 1099s you have, that's the more transactions you have. Like, bro, you don't know how to run a business. You needed somebody to run your business. And bro, you decided to make stupid decisions about how you spent your personal money. No, man, I don't believe this shit, man. Because nobody's accused of Al Heyman of stealing before. And when this guy conveniently gets in debt, all of a sudden it's because of this. Nah, bro, I'm not buying that shit, bro. Basically what happened is Floyd switched out camps, took out Leonard Ellerbe as the head of Mayweather Promotions, brought in Richard Schaefer. Richard Schaefer said, let's go try to collect some money. What money can we collect? Maybe we can get some money from Showtime or something like that. So let's call some lawyers and we can save face. Man, come on, man. Mayweather Promotions ain't about to put on no more fights. Richard Schaefer took over Mayweather Promotions, right? Did he take over Mayweather Promotions to put on more fights? No. He took over there to fucking sue Showtime. Sue Showtime and see if he could collect some money from Al Heyman. Collect some money because that's a business person that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has trusted for a long time in Richard Schaefer. But man, come on, man. Richard Schaefer has been part of dealing with Al Heyman, dealing with Steven Espinoza. That's how that Richard Schaefer was part of these guys getting a lot of the fighters out of Oscar De La Hoya when he was with Golden Boy. So no, man, I'm not buying all this shit, man. Man, if you pay attention long enough, you see how these guys work with each other. You know what I mean? He said Floyd lost me with all that DSA did, man. Honestly, man, Floyd lost me when he fucking mean mugged me. Man, Floyd was a man. Let me tell you something, man. Floyd's the type of person that when he needs you, that dude, oh man, he's the best guy in the world when he needs you. But when he don't need you, that shit switches up, man. That nigga want to be Hollywood with everybody, man. Now Floyd ain't got any fighters, man. Carmel Moten is fighting on Manny Pacquiao's card, bro. Richard Schaefer, man. Richard Schaefer is not there to build that company. They're just there to try to get some money out of who? Really try to ruin the reputation of a competitor. Really. That's what it seems like to me. And they got some cooperation with some people that are going to try to help him out and get him a size so Bob type fight or something. I thought he followed Al around with a pen and pad. He's not as humble as I thought. Man, look, bro, if Al Heyman's been sick for 3 years, that explains why it was such a shutdown and a slowdown with the PBC. And now that it seems that the PBC is starting to pick up pace a little bit, they got Errol coming out. They've got the fight with Fundora and Thurman. Man, anyway, it is what it is. You know what my theory is. Everything in this document is just speculation, which wouldn't have any merit in a court of law as they actual verify facts, not speculation. I mean, look, man, if they get the discovery and they're able to get a court order to provide this information, and then they're able to do some snooping, and then they're able to find some money that was misappropriated or was not given, basically he's going to try to turn around and sue a bunch of the 1099s that used to do business with Al Heyman. So what are they looking? They're doing this is a fishing expedition so that they can go after the business partners of Al Heyman. Do you know who gets paid? I don't know. I didn't want to say their name because I know that there are people that did organizations that were responsible for organizing and doing like commercial, doing like, the press credentials and all of that. Like Kelly Swanson. Who paid Kelly Swanson? Like, this is a big question. Who paid Kelly Swanson for doing the events coordination for Al Heyman, for Floyd Mayweather's fights? Who paid for that? Those were expenses. Those are expenses that were probably recouped by Showtime. Tell you, it's interesting stuff. Man, look, I think it's on both sides, man. I'm not getting on the small hats, man. I'm telling you, I'm not getting on I think it's black people. They always trying to show you something and hide their hand, bro. I'm telling you. The small hats are too easy an argument. These are black people up to this dumb shit. He said he should dead the lawsuit because he's going to lose anyway. So just go back to promoting fights and doing exhibitions for money. Yeah, but who knows? He might not even have paid for this shit. They might have just cut him a deal. You got to do this. You got to do this for me. Do me a favor. Before we can help you out, you got to exhaust all avenues of recovering this money. We have got to find out this information and find out whether or not they've given all the money or not. So the best way to do a fishing expedition is a lawsuit. And they're not doing it with Al Heyman because they say, oh, that's a waste of time to do it with Al Heyman because Al Heyman doesn't keep the documentation. So they want to get the documentation from Showtime. But you lost me when you quoted Rick Glazier, bro. And you big up Rick Glazier in the middle of a lawsuit for no reason. Martin and Floyd had those crazy walks to the ring. He had to pay for that too. Oh, man, they had a lot of expenses, bro. Every brother ain't a brother. Man, I don't know what I can say, man, about all that, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a wild game. Did you see Espinosa's interview? Man, he rolled his eyes on that dude, man. Like, man, come on, bro. First of all, dog, Showtime is going to have all that shit in order, bro. Showtime has been doing business, did business with people for years and years and years, man. And you're going to act like these guys are just common criminals that are going to have stolen all that money just to get a job. Like, I mean, seriously, like, he stole all this money so eventually he would get a job. Man, I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. It's stupid shit. But look, man, let me get up out of here, man. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody that kicked it with me today. Thank y'all so much for chopping it up with me, man. I'm going to get back with y'all tomorrow. Thank you to everybody that kept the channel going with the super chats and the cash apps. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.